Welcome to the Mindset Vault. You have been living on autopilot. It is time to take back the controls.
Now, we are giving you the map, but let's be absolutely clear. You are the one who has to walk the path. Looking at the blueprint won't get you to the destination. Only sustained, deliberate action will. Today, we're decoding the architecture of your most valuable and most besieged asset, your attention. This isn't some abstract theory. This is the tactical blueprint for rebuilding your focus from the ground up in a world that is meticulously designed to shatter it into 1,000 pieces.
Okay, let's start with a reality check. We operate under a grand, pervasive illusion, the illusion of productivity. We tell ourselves we're in control, that our to-do list is our command, but the data tells a much harsher story. Research from scientists at the University of California, Irvine shows that when we sit down at a computer, we work for an average of just 40 seconds before we get interrupted or distract ourselves. Let that sink in for a moment. 40 seconds. That's not a workflow. That's a state of digital seizure. This isn't some minor flaw in our process. This is the fundamental, broken state of modern work.
And this constant interruption leads to the central paradox of our time, captured perfectly by Chris Bailey in his book Hyperfocus, which was our source for today's breakdown. We feel this constant, frantic sense of motion. Our calendars are packed, our inboxes are overflowing, yet at the end of the day, there's this hollow feeling, a sense that despite all the activity, nothing of real substance was accomplished. This is the great trap, the belief that busyness is a badge of honor, that activity equals progress. And it's a lie we're sold because a distracted population is a profitable one. It keeps us spinning our wheels, draining our energy without moving us forward an inch.
The cost of living under this illusion is immense. Being busy isn't just inefficient, it is corrosive to our potential. When we're busy, we are in a state of constant low-grade chaos. We're reacting to pings, to notifications. Our day is dictated by other people's demands. We try to multitask, which neuroscience has proven is a myth. It's really just rapid, inefficient task switching that comes at a huge cognitive cost. All this leads to shallow, easily disrupted work. True productivity, on the other hand, the state of command, is the polar opposite. It's rooted in intention. It is deliberate, focused, single-tasking that allows for deep, meaningful progress. One is a storm, the other is the eye of the storm.
If you're finding value in this breakdown, if you're recognizing that chaos in your own life, hit the like button. It helps us spread this signal through all the noise and reach more people who need to wake up.
So to break free from the chaos, we have to understand the battlefield. The fortress we must defend is what Chris Bailey calls our attentional space. The best way to think about it is like the RAM on your computer or maybe the size of the workbench you have in your mind. It's the finite mental workspace you have available at any given moment to process information and solve problems. Everything you're consciously aware of right now, my voice, the words on the screen, the temperature of the room, all of it exists inside this space. It's incredibly powerful, but it is also severely and dangerously limited. And this chart just brilliantly illustrates the architectural limits we are up against. Every single second, our senses are flooding our brain with an estimated 11 million bits of information, sights, sounds, sensations. But our conscious mind, our precious attentional space, can only process about 40 of those bits. Not 40,000. 40. Just look at the scale of that chart. It's a staggering mismatch. We are, quite literally, trying to drink from a fire hose through a coffee straw. This bottleneck isn't a personal failing, it's a biological reality. It's the central constraint that dictates everything about our ability to think, to create, and to focus. Let's make this really tangible. Look at what happens during a simple one-on-one conversation. As this chart suggests, just decoding the words someone is saying can take up over half of your entire 40-bit capacity. Then, interpreting their tone, their body language, the unspoken meaning, that consumes almost everything else. The available bandwidth you have left for anything else is minuscule. So when you're talking to someone and you try to check a text message, you are not multitasking. You are forcing your brain to completely dump one task from its limited workspace just to load another one. It's an architectural impossibility to do both well. One, or probably both, will suffer.
So we have this limited fortress, and it's under constant siege. How do we defend it? The solution isn't 100 different life hacks or some complex new system. The source text argues there is one master key. A single foundational principle that, once you understand and apply it, unlocks the ability to protect our focus and reclaim our productivity.
And here it is. The master key is intention. The central thesis of Hyperfocus is this simple, powerful idea. Intention must absolutely precede attention. This is the leverage point over the entire system. Without intention, your attention is governed by whatever is most novel or stimulating.
Your focus just becomes a feather in the wind, captured by the loudest notification, the brightest screen. But by setting an intention, you make a conscious, deliberate choice about where your focus will go before you engage with the world. You are setting the destination before you even start the engine.
You see, setting an intention isn't some passive wish. It's an act of command. It's the moment you shift from being a reactor to being an actor. You're consciously instructing your limited 40 bits of processing power, this is your mission. Everything else is noise. Ignore it. This simple act builds the fortifications you need for deep work. It erects a barrier that prevents your attention from being hijacked by the endless digital tide trying to breach the walls. Without intention, your fortress has no guard at the gate. It's open to any invader.
But, holding the key isn't enough. We need a protocol for using it, a repeatable, tactical plan that translates this principle into daily action. The source material gives us exactly that. It's called the Hyperfocus protocol. And this is our battle plan for winning the war for our attention.
Okay, let's move to execution. The protocol has 4 distinct stages. First, define your mission. You consciously choose one and only one object for your attention. Second, fortify your castle. This is critical. You eliminate as many external distractions as you possibly can before you begin. Close the tabs, silence the phone. Third, engage the target. You direct your full, undivided attention to the mission you've defined. And fourth, and this is maybe the most important part, master the redirect. Your mind is going to wander. That's just what minds do. The skill isn't preventing it from wandering, it's noticing it without judgment and gently but firmly redirecting your focus back to the target. This last step is the mental muscle we are here to build.
So let's apply this. Scenario 1. Your work. You have to write a critical report that your entire team is waiting on. The task feels huge. Your mission is to break it down. Choose one piece. Complete the financial analysis section for Q2. That's it. Fortifying the castle means you close your email, you close Slack, you use a site blocker, you put your phone on silent, and you put it in another room. Then you engage, opening only the spreadsheet and the document you need. 20 minutes in, you feel that twitch, that urge to check the news for a quick hit. That's the wander. You master the redirect by acknowledging the urge. There's the distraction. And then you deliberately bring your focus back to the numbers on the screen. You just repeat this loop for a 60-minute block.
And this protocol isn't just for work, it's for the things that matter most. Scenario 2, your relationships. You need to have a crucial conversation with your partner. The mission isn't to win the argument, it's to listen and to truly understand their perspective. Fortifying the castle is a mutual act. You both agree to put your phones away, out of sight. Turn off the TV. You create a space that's free of interruptions. You engage by making eye contact and actively listening, not just waiting for your turn to talk. And when your mind inevitably wanders to planning your rebuttal, you master the redirect. You gently pull your full attention back to their words, their tone, their emotions. This is the architecture of real presence and connection.
And finally, Scenario 3, your personal growth. You want to read a challenging book to learn a new skill, something dense that requires real concentration. The mission is clear. Read and comprehend one chapter. You fortify by finding a quiet space. You don't try to read on the couch with the TV on. You go to a desk, a quiet corner. You engage with the text, not just by passively scanning, but maybe with a pen in hand, taking notes. When you find yourself rereading the same sentence 3 times because your mind has drifted to tomorrow's to-do list, that is the moment of truth. You master the redirect. You acknowledge the stray thought, let it go, and bring your focus back to the page. This isn't just reading. This is how deep, lasting learning actually happens.
We are building more than an archive here. We are building a mastermind. Join our free WhatsApp community. The link is in the description to exchange high-level ideas with others who are walking the same path. Subscribe to the Vault and join the journey. So, we've laid out the architectural blueprint, we've decoded the mechanism, and we've delivered the master key. Now it all comes down to a command decision that only you can make, a moment of honest self-assessment.
So, here is the final question for you today, the true test of where you stand. When your device buzzes, when you feel that vibration in your pocket or see that notification light up, do you finish the thought you are currently having, or do you instantly check the device? One action reinforces your command. The other reinforces autopilot. There's no middle ground. Be honest with yourself. Leave your answer in the comments below. We'll be watching.